Good afternoon, Year 5, and welcome to today's English lesson. So what I would like to do, as usual, is put English at the top of your page for me, please. And then below that, today's LO, which is to collate and present information, as well as today's date, Wednesday, the 27th of January. Now, you might look at this LO and be a little bit confused about what we mean with the word collate. So what I mean by that is you are going to be collecting almost, or gathering. So you're going to be gathering and collecting information and then presenting it. Okay. So what I'm going to do first of all is just run through the poem so that we have access to that if you need it for your task later on in the lesson. I would also like to say this will be our final lesson now on the Highwayman itself, and we'll be moving on to another book tomorrow. So if you've got any opinions or reviews on the book at all that you'd like to share with myself or with any of your classmates, maybe you want to do a book review on it or something, then please feel free to do that, some extra work if you want to, and send that in. That would be brilliant if some of you could do that for me. So I'm just going to run through the poem now anyway, so you can see that, and then we'll get on with today's task. Okay, so you should have gone through that now, and what I want you to do first of all, please, Year 5, is I want you to just have a little think to yourselves about what you've found out about Highwaymen so far. So you can use information from the poem. You can use information that you've collected over previous lessons, okay, when we've had to brainstorm a little bit about Highwaymen. Um, you can research off the internet if you wanted. That is absolutely fine. So I just want you to jot down some ideas that you know about the Highwayman first of all for me, please. So just a few bullet points, just saying what you know about the Highwaymen already. Okay, so you should have paused the video. You should have had a go at that now. If you haven't done, please do so now. And I'm going to run through some ideas I came up with. So here we found out that highwaymen were obviously robbers and thieves that often were on horseback. They were around in the early 18th century, and they were an enemy of the crown. So the crown, or the government kind of thing. So the king wanted to rid these. They often worked alone, and sometimes even in small groups. They targeted travelers in carriages or people on horseback, and these people were often rich people who had just spent money at the market, so they could steal their goods and the money they hadn't spent. And they also usually wore masks to hide their faces as well as carrying knives and guns to help threaten people when they were robbing them. So there's just some information that I've come up with. Hopefully you've come up with some lots and lots of ideas as well. That would be brilliant. And so what I want you to do with this information, just have a little think of what more would you actually like to know about highwaymen. Okay, so what I've done here, I've just put 3 questions that you can use if you'd like, but it'd be nice if you could maybe come up with your own question. So I put, how are highwaymen punished for their crimes? Why did highwaymen actually do what they did? And why did highwayman or highway robbery stop happening in the first place? Why did it even stop? And so what I want you to do, I want you to think of a question or choose one of these if you can't think of your own one. And I want you to gather some information based on that question. So I want you to find out more about a specific question for me. So to do that, you can use the poem. You can use information, like I said before, that we gathered from other lessons. You can use your books for that. You can use any books that you might have at home, or of course, most importantly, you can use the internet, as you all have access to that now. So I've just put a couple of links on here, which I don't know if you will be able to press. If you can't press them, don't worry about that. That's fine. You can just pause the video and type them into your search bar at the top of the page. If you don't want to type it all out, don't worry. Just put, for this one, standarddelivered.org should come up. And for this one, it's just a BBC bite-size thing. So just put BBC bite-size, the Highwayman or something, or Highwaymen, something like that. And it should come up for you. So I want you to make sure you're gathering information about one particular question. It can be one of these, or it can be one that you've come up with yourself. And what you're going to then do with this information, Year 5, is you're going to create your own poster. So, for example, this is one I've done here, just a quick little template for you. So I put the question here at the top, and then I'm going to do some drawings and pictures down here, and then dot the facts and information off this. You don't have to do it like that. You can maybe bring the question down into the middle, and then do drawings and pictures off that, information underneath it. I don't mind, as long as you've got your main question on there. loads of facts and information, and then maybe a couple of drawings or pictures that you've got off the internet. I don't mind what you do. Now, important to say, year 5, I would like you to make sure that you've collected your information first. Now, this is very important, because if you end up writing your question down, so say you've decided on a question, you've written it down, and then you go and look for information afterwards, you might find out that you can't find any information about this. Okay, so make sure you do your research first, collect all the facts and information that you're going to put on your poster, and then start it. Okay. So yeah, feel free to use as well a Word document if you would like, if that would be easier for you, but make sure you're still sending pictures of it and sending it to either myself or Miss Hussein. You can do it on paper if you'd rather do it on paper, that's still absolutely fine. You can do it landscape, or you can turn it to portrait. It's entirely up to you how you do it. As long as you've got loads of facts of information, your questions on there, and you've got a couple of drawings or some pictures for me as well. And that's it, year 5. So thank you very much. Get that done for me, and then we'll have a look at those later in today's lesson. So make sure you get them complete before then, please. Thank you very much, year 5. Enjoy the rest of your day.